December 10, 1984, USS Portsmouth, after intercepting Red Wolfpack trying to transit the GI-UK gap, sank 2 tangos and 1 kilo. We have now received a new priority assignment. We are to head north and intercept Soviet reinforcement subs sent through the polar regions. We stopped just west of Spitsbergen and we sat there looking for a contact. However, eventually we were able to locate the contact to our north, but it is going east. We were forced to chase after it. In these cold, dark waters near the Arctic, we were able to isolate both contacts as a Victor 1 and a Charlie 1, and we are able to get them at the range of almost 30 kilometers. So we are ready to execute a very long range attack well beyond their sensor range. The Sierras are roughly coming south, so we are going north and we are sending our torpedoes to the east and then turn toward them. So if they retaliate, they would be retaliating toward the southeast instead of southwest where we are. Hostile subs did retaliate with multiple torpedoes, but they are sensing our torpedoes, not us.
Maneuvering, making turns for 15 knots.
We decided to send a decoy to make sure those torpedoes will not get to us. We also started evading to the west at 15 knots.
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready. Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Torpedo 1 did have to be taken control manually because it did a weird turn toward the left. This is common when chasing after targets. When the torpedo first acquires, it had to break through a thermal layer or sorts, and it sometimes loses track.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 030.
We are not too worried about the western torpedo because we know it should be attracted by the mobile decoy we launched.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 032.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Contact breaking
Okay,
up.
looks like we killed a Charlie 1. And if those torpedoes cannot see the decoy, there's no way they're going to see me. We also had to intervene with the Torpedo 1, and it is chasing after the Victor, which is wiggling a bit, but we don't anticipate any problems. And we only fire 2 torpedoes and 1 decoy. And it turns out the decoy is a bit wasted, but hey. One needs to make snap tactical decisions and should not fault oneself for making such.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 1, 2.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired. Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing. Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 0, 1, 2. Contact breaking up.
With both subs destroyed, we left the area and received an attaboy from a sub land, and we get our new assignment. December 12th, 1984. USS Portsmouth has sunk the reinforcements sent from the Eastern Military District and has received a new priority order. We are to attack a Red Naval Task Force sorting out of Murmansk that will pass through Blue 44, which is just north of the Norwegian coast. We are sailing south to intercept. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. That is
Con
indeed
sonar,
the
Sierra
Kirov.
6 is classified as merchant.
Okay, so DotMOD and Kirov are obviously the primary. Who the heck are you? That's gonna be a Krivak or something like that.
Con sonar, Sierra 5 is classified as capital ship.
Okay, so
Make depth 7-6, dive high.
We are going below the layer to shoot. The longer I can keep the torpedoes concealed, the better it is for the attack. We are just going to shoot slightly behind the enemy, so the torpedoes will approach them from the rear. And as I said before, Kirov and DotMOD are the primary targets. The escorts are just bonus. Just as we started to dogleg the torpedoes, I realized the escorts are starting to scatter. Looks like we have been discovered, or at least they have discovered the attacking torpedoes. Apparently, there are some maritime patrol craft in the area, or perhaps the helo noticed something. But in any way, our attacks are going in. I decided to change our attack up a little bit. We're cutting wires to all 3 torpedoes, let them seek on their own, and we are reloading all 3 tubes for a follow-up second salvo to pick out the specific targets. We just launched our second salvo, and we are also launching a decoy just in case. As you can see, the enemy has responded by dropping sonar buoys to our east, as well as several torpedoes to our east, mainly toward the torpedoes, so we are continuing to head probably south or southwest. On the other hand, that torpedo that is coming north to our direct south is a little worrying. Looks like the DotMOD has been sunk, probably by their own torpedo, and the Codlin is being chased by their own wakehomer. Why would you fire a wakehomer at a submarine is one of life's greater questions. Anyway, we are turning west to cut behind that torpedo and to avoid that torpedo that's coming straight for us. Hopefully the decoy will attract it. On the other hand, we are doing pretty good progress.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 3, bearing 1. Come left to 186, helm I. Make turns for 10 knots.
Looks like we've avoided all the torpedoes. When Cresta 1 was killed, that Krevac is not going to last very long. And the Codlin just dropped. Wow. Okay, it looks like the Codlin died from one of my torpedoes instead of avoiding their own wakehomer. Somehow he got away from a wakehomer. Amazing. Okay, looks like the Krevac is seeking.
Con, helm, steady course.
And we just have to avoid any more torpedoes coming our way. Or where the heck did that Krevac go? Okay, looks like the torpedo's still seeking. And we have a torpedo dedicated to the Kirov. Okay, Krevac is dead. So now we just need to sink the Kirov and avoid being found by those darn helicopters. There's a helicopter to our north, even though we already sank their mothership, very likely. I think there's another escort to our east, but that one is keeping very, very quiet. Or there's too much debris in the way. Oh, there's another torpedo coming us.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 154.
You may have realized I am a bit fixated on the Kirov that I forgot to dodge that incoming torpedo. I was hoping it wouldn't notice me, but maybe, maybe not. We shall see.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 150.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Con, helm, steady course.
Looks like we hit the Kirov, but it's not sunk yet. We probably avoided that torpedo, so now we just need to shoot it again.
Aye, sir.
There's a Cresta 2 approaching us from the south, so I've sent torpedo number 2. In the meantime, the other 2 torpedoes are heading toward the Kirov. We're going to double team it to make sure it sinks this time. This is a problem when you have your own decoys in play. Those 2 torpedoes are actually attracted toward my Moss decoy, not necessarily the Kirov. I have no idea where the Kirov is. The torpedo can't seem to find it. So I have to make sure I set it to surface mode, and hopefully we'll find that darn Kirov. In the meantime, torpedo 2 seems to have acquired a Cresta 2. Let's see if I remember to evade.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 4, last
Right,
bearing
looks like we sank the Kirov with just
Contact
one more
breaking up.
torpedo, so it only took 2 Mark 48s. Now let's see, we have 2 torpedoes for the Cresta, and as long as we don't get hit, we should be fine.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 3, last bearing 143. Contact breaking up.
Con, torpedo room, no reloads available.
Well, we just used up all our torpedoes, and yeah, we did a great job.
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
Yeah, well, let's cut the wires and
You may think it's time to celebrate, but this is a perfect example of you should never relax. Because
Con,
you'll see.
sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water, bearing 146.
Shoot tube 4. Aye, sir.
Make turns for 3 knots, maneuvering aye.
Make depth 335. Dive aye. Flooding in the reactor space. Rig shift for
Yep, as you can see, I got hit in the reactor. I was forced to speed 0. And let's just say if I had not fired that decoy, another torpedo would have probably killed me. So that should give you a lesson. Never relax until you're actually out and disengaged. I did kill almost everything, but I should not have taken that hit. Anyway, suffice to say that the crew did excellently. They were able to repair the damages, and we were able to disengage. Since we're out of torpedoes, we have to go back to Holy Lock anyway to get reloads, and now also to patch that darn hole on the side of the whole submarine. But still, we survived, and that's the good thing. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. Please stay tuned, and we will see you in the next one.